beautiful humans. My name is Ariane Andrew.
I'm Matt Dillon, and welcome to another piping hot episode of Sippin' the Tea, where we
sip the tea and our guests
spill that tea. Yes.
Oh,
Cheers, girl.
That was
weak.
That was staying, but
she agrees. Very weak. Very weak. Well, Miss Mama is here,
and little Glitty is here.
and there's a reason she's getting a little like this. We got Crystal Hunt, soap opera queen, guiding light, One Life to Live. Now she's executive produced, written, starring in a brand new sitcom comedy on Pure Flix. Please welcome Crystal Hunt, my darling.
Hi.
The star of Mood Swings.
Yes. Hey, girl.
And Mr. Forbes, of
Exactly. Who plays Mr. in Mood Swings?
course. No.
Yes.
Yes. Well, pleasure to have you, my
Yes.
darling.
Same here.
Thank you.
I figured he always is on set or like in my trailer. I'm like, well, let's put you to work if you're going to be here.
Might as
I was
well.
like, we've been trying to put these bitches to work for a decade.
Right?
Come
but
on.
they say
Exactly.
sleep. But today, mommy is up and living her
She's
best
flirting.
life.
I know. They're working women.
And NSYNC. All right, let's kick into it.
Let's kick into it. So, girl, let's take it back. The journey of you being an actress. Tell us when you had like the passion, when you know like this is your thing, and your niche of being a soap opera actress.
It's funny. So when I was 4, I joined SAG. These people they have scouts and stuff like that in Florida because Disney's so close and whatnot. So they want to scout people for commercials and things like that. And surprisingly, McDonald's commercials were really big back then too, and Kodak when film was actually used. And they had asked if I would be interested. I think they stopped me at malls. I was really little, so I don't really remember the details, but I remember my grandmother was with me, and
Yes,
she
Grandma.
she was like, yeah, absolutely. And then my mom found out about it, and she's like, is this something that you want to do, or is this something that, Nanny signed you up for? And I was like, no, I love it. So then my mom used it as a bargaining tool to then, my grades, if I didn't have a report card that was like, 1B was okay, but if it wasn't, like, that was still riding on the edge. If it wasn't, I was not allowed to go to my next audition.
Wow,
So,
I like that.
Yeah, and I think the cool thing was that even though it's lofty, like the concept of being an actress, I didn't really realize that because my mother never let me feel like that was like a lofty aspiration. Like that was something that wasn't possible for, a lot of people. Like you'd have to work very hard and have a lot of great things move into place for you for that to happen. But I didn't know that. So I never had that mindset. So I just hustled and like wanted to get better and better and better. And I trained every summer during this actors workshop in New York and got to know a lot of great people who are, very talented working actresses now and actors. But those two. But yeah, it's crazy looking back. I think after my first soap, I think I looked back, I was like, wow. And coming here to do press and things like that for my shows because they were in New York.
Yeah.
I didn't realize just how many people are in Los Angeles aspiring to be actors. And it really put it into perspective.
It's amazing.
I was like, oh my gosh, I'm so glad my parents never made me feel like, yeah, good luck with that. Because then I think I probably wouldn't have viewed it the same way. I just felt like, hey, I'll work hard and then that's what I'm going to do for a living. I never thought that the chance of not succeeding would ever be an option.
Good mental perspective that your mother instilled in you, because by not being like, no, dear.
Yeah.
That
when you
it
don't make
came out-
failure an option, then it's not an option.
Hang on a minute.
Right?
We like to repeat some nice quotes. So that's your camera for some quotes. What was that you just said, girl?
When you don't make failure an option, then it's not an option.
Yes,
I love that. Yeah.
I love that. And I think your mother's a very wise woman for approaching it that way with you, especially at a young age.
As you do say about a fellow Australian.
Girl, yes, Aussie. I'd be in Aussie jail if I, bashed out in the streets. We love you, Mom. We love you, Mommy. That's
love
crazy.
it.
So, fast forward, you've had an illustrious career. Take us through the concept of working on a soap and what that's like day to day, because it's like you read a lot of different things and it's on the caliber of like the timing, the schedules. It's a lot of work.
Yeah.
You break it down in like a small way for people to understand what the day to day, like what are the hours, how fast do things shoot? Do you do retakes?
What? Yeah.
She's like, girl, hang on,
Wait, hold on. Let me have a little sip.
Yeah, right. They. I would like to say that. Yeah, sure, you can do retakes, although you hear all of the camera crew just go. If you go up on a line, all of them sigh and like take a step back from their cameras. They don't like that. They like what they call one take Jakes. Like they like to cruise through everything.
You've had a pretty illustrious career, so you must be on one take Jake.
It's lengthy, yeah.
You're like, I got this down.
Well, at first I was 17, so I was like, oh my gosh, I gotta be really good because
Maybe.
they're really good, and I gotta be like an adult and professional and prepared because otherwise they're gonna hate working with me, and so I gotta really like pick up my game. I better really study ahead of time. But Joan Collins was actually on The Guiding Light when I first started, and she actually left her agreement early because she was like, this is just too much. She's like, until this day, she's like, hands down, they're the hardest working actors in the business. She's like, I've never, ever experienced so much work. Because the memorization, there's a ton, and you got to know the blocking. You got to think on your feet. You hear it once, and if you don't catch it when they're spitting it out, then you're screwed. You're going to be on set, and then you're going to have everybody mad at you. Yeah.
Super impressive.
I mean,
Yeah.
you're shooting so much content ahead of time, so it's like the one take.
And out of order.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like when I was in Guiding Light, I would say a big day, I would have like maybe 30 or 40 pages of dialogue.
Wow.
But then when I got to One Life to Live, I had days that were like 60 and somewhere around 70, almost 80 pages of dialogue, which doesn't seem possible, but it is.
Were you living the dream though? Was that what you're like?
Oh,
when you were in it,
100%.
Were you living what you thought? This is what I wanted.
Never once did I feel like I was going to work. Like,
okay.
So-
Yes.
like it's
I love
it's
that.
what I would do for free. Like I
Hang on,
enjoy
wait,
it.
don't say that to
Yeah.
me, Rebecca. No, she will not be doing that for free. No.
Well,
Speak to her agent.
that's agent's job. Yeah. Me, yes. By representation,
No.
that's a different story. But truly, it never feels like it's not that dreaded. Like, oh, gotta go to work. Like you're more than happy to drink black coffee, or if you could even get black coffee in an IV, you would to stay awake, to like cruise through all that stuff. Because sometimes there's long hours.
Yeah.
Totally.
I
Now,
mean,
what
you get
about-
to know them more than you spend more time with them than you do your own family. It's crazy.
I mean, and I think that that's dope though, that you had that, you have that passion, because a lot of people just do it for like the fame or for the money. So it's like when you have it, like you say, you never really work a day in your life.
Yeah.
Now, I want to ask you, like, as far as your character, do you think that there's like similarities between you and the character that you played as Lizzie?
Oh my gosh, no.
No.
No. Lizzie,
How many
no.
miles did you command? What did you do?
Not even remotely. I mean, both shows I played. Did you watch Guiding Light?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because both on One Life to Live and on Guiding Light, I played two very, very evil people. So,
Nice.
Well, what I mean by that, because like in acting, you have to go to certain spots, and there are like things that little details.
how did I grasp that? Like, come up with that character and figure out
Yeah,
this is-
like
I mean, we all went to school, right? You know those girls that just made your life miserable? I don't know if you had any of those, but there were
yeah,
always
girl.
those catty girls that you were just like,
Yes.
I swear Satan's in them. It's like there's just something that's not right about that girl. It's like when you say bless her heart, like
yeah.
she's got a lot coming toward her because she is just straight mean for no reason at all. I always took note of those things. Like I observe a lot. And so for me, it's always about like, even when I see something funny and somebody who's got weird little quirks or mannerisms, I'll take note of those and use them at some point. But I used a lot of the people that I went to school with that were really catty and mean, and I'd watch and just be like, oh my God, I just don't know why people would have to be like that, and utilize that
Put that in your character.
and played it up. Yeah.
Thank you to those mean
Right?
girls.
Right?
Honey,
It paid off.
Damn.
Yeah, I never got so many death threats than those two characters. I mean, I got people like sending tracts, like Christian tracts, trying to get me to come to Jesus all the time. And there would actually be fans outside the studio waiting to like hand me these things and wanting to like witness to me.
Do they not realize it's acting? Like, some people take things too literal.
They have to know. They have to know, I feel like, because they've watched them so long. But I think that some start to think, it just seems so real that there has to be some of that side in that person.
They're invested in the story.
Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
doing your job though. You know, you're making people like that, and that's how it should be.
And
Yeah.
those haters.
Right.
Get
Yeah,
those-
right.
You're nobody without some haters, honey.
Right?
Which is why it's always nice too to be funny. Like it's like, okay, yeah, I do the drama thing, but you know,
Sitting here
don't,
with
yeah.
you now, it's like it's a
Breath of fresh air. Yeah.
And if
live.
you've never seen it, like me on the soaps, you would.
I'd probably live for it, and then I'd have no life because I'd have
Yeah.
to watch a decade worth of goddamn television because I get hooked on things very fast.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did some pretty bad things on both shows.
What's the craziest storyline that you had? I got some good.
Well, on Guiding Light, it was kind of crazy when they sent me to boarding school, and I didn't want to be there, so I burnt it down.
Fabulous, honey.
But then on One Life to Live, I mean, I had a crush on my sister's baby daddy, and I got pregnant with him, and then had a miscarriage, but I didn't want him to know, so I hurried up and got knocked up by somebody else and tried to play it off as his, and never told him until the baby was born.
God, I live. They are the most soap operas are the most popular globally, worldwide. Your fandom is like from here to
All over.
all over.
It's crazy. Yeah, Guiding Light's more popular in Italy than it is even in the States, or was in the States.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That is insane. So now that okay, let's do it on a more lighter side. Now that you have your show Mood Swings that you wrote and executive produced, like for, you know, people who haven't watched it, like tell us a little bit about that and how that all came about, and being able to also too go back and work with, you know, some legends.
And
in the soap opera.
congratulations
Yeah.
for putting your dream in alignment. I think it's fabulous.
Making your own doors, you know, building your own doors and knocking them down, girl.
A persistent thing. I swear it's that Leo in there. The Leo rising, I hear. My mom's like, yeah, it's because you got that from me. Like,
Yes, mommy.
Mom,
Okay.
Yes, mommy.
Mom's
She's
getting all
got some airtime. So tell us about the show.
I
We're
know.
excited.
So it's sort of a modern, I love the Golden Girls. I've always grown up watching that, and I love Lucy. So for me, I've always loved female comedies, and obviously Designing Women as well, but Golden Girls was mine. So I always wanted to do sort of a modern take on it, except for because we have a huge family with a very
Ding dong. This is not a first. Taking calls.
no, that's actually a reminder to take my medicine.
Oh, girl. We got an exclusive. Hang on.
I know, right? It's so funny because when you travel, it's sometimes hard to keep up with things. But I'm like,
Tell me about it.
Yeah.
It's hard to get out of bed sometimes. let me
Right, the
tell you.
struggle is real.
All right, back to
Yes.
because we're coming up on the season
Yes.
finale
Yes.
this Thursday. So I
Yes.
want to know.
it's crazy. Time
It's
has
flying,
flown.
Right, yes.
It seems like just yesterday I was like freaking out over planning the premiere.
And now, so give us the
So
background.
yeah, so because we have so many diverse ages of females in my family, I know how much excitement there is in that, because you have your 20s where you're like, your estrogen's like way up here. You can't wait to go out and party and meet cute boys and blah, blah, blah. You're in your 30s, you're like, clock's ticking. I really need to meet somebody. I can feel my ovaries starting to like, you know, warn me that time's getting close. 40s, you have women freaking out that, oh my God, I think I'm starting menopause. 50s, full blown. They're like living in front of the freezer, like trying to air off. I mean, so there's something so much more exciting, I feel like, adding that to it rather than just having us all be the same age.
So
So I
cool.
really
Yeah.
wanted to add that to the whole dynamic.
Cool dynamic, like the dichotomy of that, and also like smart because you're reaching so many different demographics.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the whole thing came about when I was doing Queens of Drama with Donna Mills. And so I originally wrote this for her and I to do together, and then everybody else sort of fell into place. I hired some of my former Guiding Light
I was about to say, it's a
stars,
reunion.
and
Yeah.
and then Diane Cannon's representative reached out and wanted to. She wanted to play the role of Wanda, who was Donna's role.
Love it.
It's like, I actually wrote that for Donna. What else is there? So I was like, well, her sister, but you know, that's not till next season. Diane calls. How about we give everybody a little taste this season and then bring her in the second season? I'm like, okay, I can't. I got a call from Diane Cannon
Yeah,
pitching
you're
me
good
this.
to-
How am I going to say
you're
no?
like, yes.
Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
it's incredible. And we have, Larry Wilcox from Chips. He does like a little cameo. We have a lot of little cameos along the way that people
Like
won't
dropping
expect.
little
Yeah.
breadcrumbs. What's the response been like for the season that's aired so far, and it's on Pure Flix. So the decision, it's streaming service. What's the feedback you've been getting as we, approach the finale?
Everybody I don't know if they would tell me if they didn't like it, but everybody, by the way, I can't stand it. It was really painful to watch. No, absolutely everybody, including like men that I would never expect to like any sort of female-driven show.
I loved it. I signed up for an account last night. And I
Oh, really?
Because I was like, I have to watch it.
Thank you.
Genius.
Thank you. But most men that I would not expect to like it, like my dad, who's like the rough and tough Southern man, I found him not finding an excuse to get up and do anything else like he does most of the time and watching it, which is, that says a lot. So if we can keep like these Southern men and the people that are not our demographic, these burly, rough and tough guys also intrigued to watch it, then I feel like we're doing a good job.
I mean, I would say so.
The original demos.
Yeah, it's interesting because in some of the analytics they've done, there's just as many guys that are interested in the show as women. So
that's good.
Yeah, it's interesting. I wouldn't have originally have thought that, but it's kind of cool.
Guys, girls, and gays, honey.
Right.
We all love a little.
Oh.
We all love a little.
You better believe it.
Girl, come on now.
Absolutely.
So do you like writing more? Do you like being in front of the camera? Do you see yourself doing, other things, other shows besides just, being behind the camera?
Yeah, I definitely think so, for sure. My love is acting.
Yeah.
There's not going to be anything that supersedes that. Like I'll never go, oh, I'm just going to go to producing or writing or whatever. It's not the same. It was something I wanted to be a part of because I had a really, really strong idea of the tone of the show and where I saw it going. So I felt like it would be weird for me not to be involved in it. But where my passion is in the area that I would do this endlessly for free and enjoy it is in the acting. I love creating and creating characters. And all the rest, that all comes into play. It's definitely interesting to do the executive producing and that together because you have to put on your business hat and then quickly take it off and be on camera and be funny. So it's definitely a lot, but I'm always up to the challenge. I'm really good at multitasking.
A little queen of all trades over
here. Does being up to the challenge mean we're going to get a season 2?
I hope to God. Yeah, you better believe
throw
it.
it out in the
Put it out there in the
right?
I feel like it's.
There's a couple people who have mentioned that they want to be included in season 2, so I'm hoping that means that we'll get one.
I feel like it. Yeah. It's been a good run, so I'm excited for the finale.
We should do a quick.
Should we do some quick rapid fires? Let's get some rapid fire.
Rapid fires.
You got them?
I do have them.
Prepared.
I do. Ooh. Okay.
Yeah, you've been very good, Mama.
So, rapid fire: Christmas or Thanksgiving?
Christmas, because I love presents and I love lights.
All right. Name something in your handbag Name something random in your handbag right now.
Eye drops.
Boom.
That's random.
Okay. And who's the last person who texted you?
The person who's going in the cherry picker to put Christmas lights up in my parents' trees in Florida.
Oh,
That's fair. I thought you were going to say Steve, making sure that you were on your way here. I was like, what's up, Steve? Shout out to Steve. We love Steve.
And last one, if your house is on fire, what is the one thing you'd run back to go get?
My love muffin.
Oh, Mr. Forbesies.
Mr. Forbes, can we get a full profile? Yes, King, yes.
Serving looks.
Hey, little man.
He's like, I know where my cameras are at.
Oh,
he really does.
Mama's like, I'm about to come get you.
All right.
Thank you so much for being here. Continued success. Everybody tune in this Thursday. We're changing cameras. Everybody tune in this Thursday. Pure Flix, the finale is on what time?
Yeah.
It's streaming, so.
Okay, it drops.
Yeah.
We're going to have you just plug everything, your
girl.
social media, and you can plug everything about your show and the whole nine.
Be sure to catch Mood Swings on Pure Flix, and it's the finale coming this Thursday. And you can always check it out on pureflix.com, and also our handle is Mood Swings TV on Instagram.
Yeah. So
what about your Instagram, girl? People want to follow you.
Crystal Hunt. So if you know my name, it's pretty easy to find. With little Barney, Crystal Hunt. So if you know how to spell my name, you'll find me on Instagram.
Oh, yes,
Done and
I love the
done.
sass. You guys can follow me across the board at Ariane Andrew and this little nugget at Glitty Glit.
You can follow me at Matt Dillon 1983 and this hyperactive little bass at It's Mama 2011.
And you can follow Forbes at Forbes Hunt on Instagram.
Get it, Forbes.
Yes.
Get it, Forbes.
All right, guys. Thank you guys so much. And until next week, Tuesday, we will catch you guys on Sippin' the Tea on EverTalk TV.
See you next time. Woo. Cheers, baby.
Cheersies.
Cheers. Dang.
Yeah, you got the wrong number. Click.